Mike with Mike's Bags. Today I'm reviewing the Swindle by Black Flag Cornhole. Let's go ahead and dive in, break these bags down. As always, we'll start with materials. Slow side, this is a hybrid material. It's the same slow side you find on the Brotherhood Guardian, the Titan Dart, Killshot Wolverine, the True Cornhole Tremor, the Crazy 8 Hibernator. There's quite a few bags that use this. It's a wonderful material. I call it a 5-speed. It plays a little quicker new, 5.5, 6-speed. Once it breaks down, softens up, it gets to that 5-speed, stays pretty much there. It's a touch slower than, say, like that Viper R slow side material. It gives you a little more control. Still very hole-friendly for the control you get. One of the beauties of these hybrid materials is the ability to play pretty consistent across all board conditions, all playing conditions, which makes these things wonderful if you play in all-day tournaments, all-day events, events that go from the afternoon into the evening, and weather changes, conditions change, boards change. You can pull this bag out with confidence, knowing it's going to play pretty much consistent across all those conditions. You don't have to keep changing bags to match conditions or changing your throw to match those conditions. 5-speed on the slow side here. Fast side. This is a newer material. I don't recognize this material. I don't know if I've seen this anywhere. I've been racking my brain. I've been looking at this. I've been really diving in, trying to break this down. I don't know if this is the other side of a material that I've seen, but I don't recognize it. It's the closest material I can describe to you is probably the fast side of like the Titan Dart or the True Cornhole Tremor. Very similar to that material, but not exactly the same. It's a similar feel to it. Black Flag calls it 8.5 speed, and I think that's about right. Between the 8 and 9 speed. It's fast, but it's not like crazy fast. You still have some control to it. Plenty fast for pushing through blocks, collecting bags, and sliding the boards in any condition. So I'm going to agree with Black Flag, call this an 8.5. So you're looking at a 8.5 speed on these Swindles. Template-wise, medium template bag, has a medium amount of fill, so you have some flop, but it is not overly floppy at all. Kind of falls right down that sweet spot for a flopper. I think a lot of players are going to like the way the bag feels as far as flop goes. The fill in here is a mixture of fill. I think it's all flat fill. There's some flat disc in here. There's some other flat fill. There's some unique pieces of fill that I'm not sure what they are. I can't really tell by feeling them. I don't feel any round beads in here that I can tell. So I think it's all a blend or mixture of different types of flat fill in there, which gives the bag a ton of forgiveness. This bag has a very soft landing to it. This material itself, this hybrid material on the slow side, doesn't really have a lot of kick naturally to it. It's a pretty forgiving material. And then you add in this blended fill that Black Flag uses. This bag lands very softly, very little kick. So if you don't throw a flat bag, but you're wanting to throw a bag where you have some control to it, you can throw these Swindles and not worry a lot about the kick. It may move a little bit on you, but it's not a punishing kick like you would get with a stickier bag or a bouncier, more active bag. The bag also has enough flop to it. It's not super floppy. There's enough flop to as well as if you're missing the hole left or right. Still has enough for that corner to dip in and grab and pull that bag back in. So you've got forgiveness around the hole. You've got the forgiveness on the landing on there. The bag has a really nice hand feel to it. One thing I didn't mention is Black Flag does put a nice little liner on the other side of the slow side material. I love when bag companies put a really slick liner on the inside, because the backside of these materials, especially these hybrid materials, the carpet materials, even the polyester materials, the backside fill will get caught in there. It gets caught. It's always super smooth. So when you have bags that are hanging up on the hole, that fill kind of gets caught and hung in there. When you put a slick liner on the inside of this, you reduce that friction. There's less friction, less resistance. So when you get filled, a bag hanging by the hole, that fill is more likely to want to drip and keep moving and dip into the hole. So that liner really aids in the whole thickness of the bag. It also helps the bag feel like a fuller bag without it being a full bag. So this bag has, even though this bag's kind of a medium fill, it does have a little bit of a fuller feeling to it. With this flat blended fill, it has a really nice hand feel. It's really fluid, smooth. So if hand feel is important to you, you're going to like the way these Swindles feel in your hand. These bags are ACL stamps. You play ACL events, you can throw the Swindles. Let's jump in and talk more about playability on these Swindles. And it's a versatile bag. I talk about this material all the time and how I love the versatility you have with it. If you want to get up there, run bags in the hole, you could do it. Put your 4 bags in every round, outscore your opponent, you could definitely do it. As I mentioned, this material, slow side material, is very hole friendly. The fast side material is extremely hole friendly as well. So you've got the ability to just run bags and outlast your opponent. But if you want to get up there and play a dirty style game, you can also do that with this bag. So you've got a ton of control with the slow side to put blockers where you want. Like you've got the control to put those blockers, level 1, level 2, level 3 blocker, and you have enough speed on the fast side. If you put a level 3 blocker there, that you can come down and ride that bag all the way up and you collect it. So you have the confidence to put that blocker lower on the board, knowing this fast side's fast to push through. Enough speed on the fast side, you've got multiple bags up there you can push through. I didn't have an issue with the bags clogging. They fold up nicely. Even though I don't have a lot of flop, they fold up nicely, drip in the hole. So I didn't have any issues with them bunching or clogging up in the hole. You have the ability to collect these bags. If you do throw blockers up there, because they're not super floppy, when you go to collect, you're just clipping the corner. You don't have to go after it, and they don't accordion or smash up like floppy bags do. You've got enough fullness here that you're coming through, clipping a corner, pushing up, and you can take them in. So you can get a little more aggressive, putting that blocker more on your opponent's side, knowing all you have to do in your last bag is just come down the middle. You don't have to get crazy with the cut. Come down the middle, clip it, and you can take those bags in. If you do need to go after the bag, you can throw cuts. Shot shaping is an option in these bags. I will say you need to be above average to advance in the skill set. Because of the forgiveness that this bag has, it doesn't have a lot of natural movement and natural bounce. It's not a super active bag, which means it's not the easiest bag for cuts, rolls, and flops. But again, if you're above average to advance in the skill set, you can do it. If you're average to below, probably not the easiest bag for that. But I don't think this bag was designed for that style of game. This bag was designed to be more forgiving. For the player who doesn't throw a perfectly flat bag, it's not going to punish you. So you've got that forgiveness, but yet you still have the ability to play a dirty style game with this. And typically bags where you play dirty style games, they have kicks to them. They're not very forgiving. So Black Flag designed a bag that gives you the ability to play a control style game without throwing a flat bag, and you have the ability to switch it up and run bags when you need to here and there, or if you get it in a blind draw or switch holio and you have a partner who wants to run bags and you want to play a dirty style game, a bag like the Swindle, you can both play your style of games and have success with it and not have to compromise, right? So it's a great bag to bridge the gap between the slow bag players and the fast bag players. It falls right in the middle of those two play styles. So it gives you options. And again, I tell you all the time how I love bags that give me options. I love a bag that when I get up there, I can change up my game round to round. I can mix and match. I can keep my opponent guessing on how I'm going to play. I can play to my opponent's weakness. Maybe I have an opponent I'm playing against who struggles with running bags. I'm just going to run bags. If I know they're struggling with it or their slide shot's off, I'm putting bags in the hole really long and I'm going to make them work for it. If I have an opponent who I know is having a hard time pushing through blocks or getting around blocks, I'm playing a dirty style game. I'm going to make that board dirty, make them play to their weaknesses. A bag like this Swindle gives you the ability to mix and match from game to game. You can still throw the same bag. You're not changing bags, but you're changing your play styles. I love that about it. I had a blast with this bag. It really is a fun bag to throw. Highly recommend you guys checking it out, which leads me into availability. Black Flag has a website. It's blackflagcornhole.com. As always, I'll put a link down in the description for you guys. The bags are $65, $12 shipping, so $77 shipped to you. Phenomenal price. It's at that lower price point for ACL stamp bags. You really can't go wrong with it. I definitely recommend checking it out at that price. If you've been thinking about trying out this bag, it sounds intriguing to you, maybe you want to try out this hybrid material, you haven't tried it before, at that $77 price point shipped to you, it's well worth it. I think you're going to love it as much as I did. If you've thrown these Swindles, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on these bags. As always, I thank you so much for your support, and I thank you for watching.